So a few weeks ago, I was at my sister's house. She was having like this celebration sort of thing her family was making because they just finished building the roof on their house, right? So they're having this party and she invited this friend over. Now, I came to their house, I sat down, and that day I wasn't specifically feeling, very good, mentally speaking. I was kind of under the weather. I wasn't really feeling that, cheerful or enthusiastic for that day. And so as I'm sitting there in the living room, I kind of start wondering or thinking to myself, should I now try to kind of be more of that social outgoing person and use the kind of tips and information which I've learned from books and videos to become more social and to kind of start engaging my sister and her friend and try to become more of like a charismatic guy even though I'm not feeling like it. I start thinking to myself, should I kind of fake it, be more charismatic, fake being kind of happy and charismatic and, you know, confident and cheerful in order to have a conversation and, appear as more social. And then I start thinking to myself and I start debating it in my head like, I authentically right now aren't really feeling, I'm not really feeling like being social. I'm not really feeling like being charismatic or saying anything or using any like, you know, anything, any kind of strategies, information that I learn, that I know in order to appear more charismatic and engage in conversation. I'm just kind of feeling like sitting here and just kind of not really doing anything. Kind of with a bit of a, like frown on my face because I'm not really feeling up to it, right? And I end up kind of thinking about it for like almost an hour until the time comes for me to go to like a football game that I had afterwards, and then I just leave the house. And in the end, I end up doing nothing. I end up just kind of sitting there on the sofa and just kind of sitting, not really speaking to anyone, not really making eye contact with anyone. And as I'm walking to the football game, I kind of start, you know, rethinking what happened at her house. And I kind of start, again, debating myself in my head, is it actually worth it to kind of be a little bit more fake to achieve, just to be more charismatic and appear more friendly? Should I fake it till I make it, essentially, is the question that I'm debating at this point. And then I start thinking about how if I had gone and kind of faked it, the momentum would have probably kind of picked up, right? Which is what always happens when you start doing something, there's friction, and then as you're doing it, you could become more and more motivated to do it. Action creates motivation. It's not the other way around, as most people believe it. And so I kind of start thinking about it as if I actually went and kind of started being more charismatic and outgoing, the momentum probably would have picked up, and I would have actually probably started feeling better and feeling like wanting to be more charismatic. This is something you can do literally right now at home if you're feeling kind of sad. Try smiling. Try smiling and acting as if you're super happy, and you'll notice that your mood will improve, right? And then I kind of think about some other people, right? I think about, for example, my dad, who every time he would come home from work, he's like one of the most, like the happiest people I know. Always very cheerful, always very enthusiastic, and every time he comes home, almost every single day when he comes home from work, he kind of greets us, the entire family, like with a big smile, like, what's up, hello, as if he's super happy. And I kind of think to myself, like, in 99% of cases, maybe not 99, but at least in 80% of cases, he probably comes home super tired, with back pain, someone probably pissed him off at work, there was probably bad traffic, it's probably raining outside, and yet when he opens that door, he still presents himself in front of his family, in front of me, and my mom and the rest of the family as like this super happy and cheerful guy, which is great for us because it also cheers everyone else up and it's a great thing. But authentically, that's not really him being himself because he probably had a pretty shitty day at work and he probably authentically is feeling, or it would be more natural, more authentic to him if he came home and was kind of like, I want to go to bed, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. But he doesn't do it. He fakes it, technically, right? But it's for everyone's benefit and even his own, because the fact that, again, he acts in that way just cheers him up. Because, again, action also directly influences like the way that you feel. If you act happy, you're gonna be happy. And then I also thought of like another example. Like imagine how every time someone pisses you off, someone does something shitty, right? Something offends you or does something you don't like. In most cases, you probably don't go and crash out at him and start cussing him out and get in a fight with him. You probably restrain yourself enough because logically, you don't want to get in a fight with this guy. You don't want to be, if your boss, for example, does something you don't like, you're probably not going to tell him, fuck you. You're probably going to sit quietly and take it. Authentically, you want to beat his ass. But you still don't do it because you don't want to lose your job. Or if, for example, someone like some little kid is being annoying, you're not going to go and slap him. You're going to still like fake a smile even though he's pissing you off because you want to be well-mannered, right? You don't want to see him as like this negative person. You don't want to scare or offend the kid. Even though he's offending you, you're still not going to crash out at him and cuss him out and be like, fuck you, little kid. You're probably just going to be calm. But authentically, that's not what you want to do. But even then, you still go and you're still going to go and act in that other way, which is more relaxed, more socially acceptable. Another thing, let's say sometimes you're in a train or you're in class and you feel like burping or farting. Authentically, yeah, if you were always being 100% authentic, you would probably fart, right? But you're not gonna do it because it's, again, socially unacceptable, it's a rude thing to do. But then that means you're not being 100% authentic in order to achieve some sort of kind of benefit, right? To be polite. And when I kind of thought about that, I realized that in that situation at my sister's house, the correct answer, at least what I believe to be the correct answer right now, in my current thinking, is that even though I kind of felt under the weather and I didn't feel very social and I didn't feel like doing it, I should have still kind of faked, maybe faked the kind of more cheerful personality. I should have forced myself to use discipline to go out, be more outgoing, speak to my sister, speak to her friends, speak to my aunt, in order to, of course, appear more kind of as a cheerful, happy guy, and in order to make their day better. Because if I came in there and I was like, hey, cracking jokes, being funny, doing everything, doing these kinds of nice things, they would have also felt better, right? I would have improved their day as well. And of course, action creates motivation. Also, action, like you feel, action can also change your emotions. I would have probably started feeling better about myself if I had actually started acting more happily, right? It would have made me more happy. Even though, authentically, I felt under the weather and I felt like sitting there and just not making eye contact with anyone, the better solution, the better scenario, the better scenario would have been if I faked it a little bit and acted in that more cheerful way. In which case, it would have gotten, in a way I would have gotten kind of a bit more, practice acting that way, so there's benefit for me. I would have felt happier, there's benefit for me, and of course everyone else in that room would have felt better because I would have kind of just been funny and would have improved also their day. And so from that day, I kind of realized that was the kind of solution that I at least personally came to when it came to the question of should you fake it till you make it or should you be authentic? I think I made a video that's literally titled that recently, but at least my current belief is that fake it till you make it is the way to go. Because a lot of the times, what you feel is authentic to you isn't actually what is authentic to you, it's actually what your monkey lizard brain is making you think because it's easier. That day at my sister's house, maybe I was feeling under the weather. Maybe I was kind of not feeling social and it was authentic. Or maybe the lazy part of my brain was making me believe that in order to avoid having to go through the discipline act of standing up and kind of faking a bit of a smile and acting more cheerful even though I didn't feel like it. In a lot of these cases, it won't even be that you authentically want to do something like be a bit introverted. It's that your brain will make you think that because it wants you to do the simpler thing, the more comfortable thing, which is just sitting around not doing anything. Well, authentically, what you might actually want to do without even realizing it, is you actually might want to go out and be more social and speak to more people. This is something which I haven't really learned how to kind of realize if it's your brain bullshitting you or if you really authentically don't want to be social or do something that you know you should do. But it doesn't really matter because the solution to it is to just always maintain the mindset of fake it till you make it. If you know that there is a way that you should act and that if you act in that way you would get benefits, you would feel better and everything, right? Like in this case, me being charismatic and outgoing and funny, even if you don't feel like it, instead of spending time trying to decipher if you really authentically don't want to do it, or if your brain is just lazy and is making you think you don't want to do it because your brain doesn't want to do the difficult, uncomfortable, disciplined thing, literally just logically fake it till you make it. Do the thing which you know you should do, whether you feel like it or not, and that's it. And don't overthink it. It will get you the benefits that you want, and I think that that is, at least for right now, in my mind, the way to go. So when in doubt, whenever you're not really feeling like it, you don't know if you should do it, use discipline to make yourself more social, to make yourself act and do things in the way that you know is right. And you will know in your heart if it's right. Like my dad, probably 90% of the time, he doesn't feel like going into the house with a big smile, but he knows that that's good for the family. It raises the spirit, makes everyone happier, and that is the reason he does it. And he doesn't overthink it. If he feels like it, if he not, if it's authentic, not, he goes and he does it every single time. And that's the way that you should be as well. If you want to learn to improve your communication skills, and you want to learn the best information that I've learned on this topic in the last 3.5+ years that I've been learning and studying it, you can check out my course by clicking on the first link in the description. And if you found this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video, you can click on the subscribe button and do the work.